Most conversations look normal on the surface, but there's a quiet detail almost no one notices until it's already pushing people away. You talk, the other person responds, everything seems fine, but then something shifts. Their eyes drift, their energy drops, and the connection feels like it's slipping through your fingers. The strange part is that nothing dramatic happened. You didn't say anything offensive. You didn't make a big mistake. What happened were small invisible habits that slowly drain the life out of any interaction. Today, you'll uncover the 8 subtle behaviors that damage conversations without making a sound. And once you recognize them, the way you communicate will completely transform. The Stoics understood that most of our problems don't come from malice, but from blindness. Epictetus said that people don't choose to act wrongly. They simply don't see clearly. This applies directly to communication. We often believe we're being present, clear or kind, but the other person is experiencing something entirely different. Words are only a fraction of a conversation. Tone, timing, attention, and emotional awareness carry far more weight. When we don't see our own patterns, we become unaware of the impact we have on others, and it's exactly this lack of awareness that creates distance. So let's begin with the most common habit of all. Habit 1. Waiting for your turn to speak instead of listening. It looks like you're paying attention. You nod, you make the right sounds, you keep eye contact. But inside, you're simply preparing your reply. The person shares something meaningful, and while they talk, you're rehearsing what you'll say next. They feel this. They may not articulate it, but they sense the absence of presence. The solution is simple but powerful. Pause before speaking. When they finish, wait 2 seconds. It sends a message that you heard them, not just their words. Habit 2. Turning everything into comparison. Someone opens up about their achievement, or a difficult week, or a complicated situation. Instead of honoring their moment, you tell a bigger version of the same story. The intention may be connection, but the result is erasure. Their experience loses space. They stop sharing, not because they don't trust you, but because there's no room for them. Before you talk about your experience, stay with theirs. Ask a question. Let their moment breathe. Confidence is the ability to let someone else's story stand without needing to top it. Habit 3. Giving unsolicited advice. Most people don't share problems because they want solutions. They share because they want understanding. When you cut straight to advice, you interrupt emotional honesty and replace it with a checklist. That feels dismissive, even if you meant well. Ask one simple question before offering guidance. Do you want help, or do you just want someone to listen? This single sentence creates safety. And speaking of growth, if you want to build deeper emotional maturity and peaceful relationships, subscribe to Stoic Spring. Making this content a habit strengthens your inner life and elevates every conversation you have. Habit 4. Pulling every topic back to yourself. It's subtle, but incredibly draining. Someone shares an experience, and immediately you relate it to your own. Not because you want the spotlight, just because it feels natural. But over time, the other person learns that conversations with you always circle back to your world. To undo this, practice remaining in their story longer than you normally would. Let your curiosity guide you instead of your impulse to relate. Habit 5. Interrupting and finishing sentences. Many people do this thinking they're helping, but the effect is the opposite. When you cut someone off, you signal that their pace or thought process isn't worth the time it takes to hear it. After this happens repeatedly, people stop expressing ideas fully. They keep things short, safe, shallow. Wait for the sentence to end. Silence invites truth. Impatience shuts it down. Habit 6. Staying on the surface. Asking how someone's weekend was or whether work is busy doesn't build connection. These questions are polite, but they reveal nothing. Depth only appears when curiosity appears. Instead of, how was it? Try, what stood out to you this week? Instead of, everything good? Try, what's been on your mind lately? These questions open doors to a person's inner world, the place where real connection lives. Most people don't hide their depth. They simply wait for permission to share it. Habit 7. Turning conversations into debate. Some people think challenging every opinion makes them sharp thinkers, but to everyone else, it feels like walking into an argument they never asked for. When every comment gets corrected, analyzed, or pushed back against, people start avoiding meaningful topics around you. Not because they fear disagreement, but because the emotional cost isn't worth it. Ask yourself, does correcting this strengthen our connection, or just my ego? If it's the latter, stay quiet. There's no prize for being right at the expense of being close. Habit 8. Sharing what was told to you in confidence. This is the habit that destroys trust the fastest. No matter how pure your intentions are, once you reveal something private, the relationship changes permanently. The person won't confront you, they'll simply stop trusting you. And once trust is gone, depth is gone. Adopt a simple rule. If you're not certain something can be shared, treat it as sacred. Protecting someone's vulnerability is one of the highest forms of character. These 8 habits don't mean you're a bad person. They mean you're human. Everyone has at least a few of these patterns, and most of them run on autopilot. The difference between people who build deep relationships and people who never move past surface-level connection is awareness. Choose one of these habits and observe it over the next week. Not all of them, just one. Notice when it appears. Pause. Redirect. Every adjustment, no matter how small, reshapes the quality of your communication. And if